And I'm talking about YouTube. You can get us JoyNews TV. We're streaming there live as well. Mama, good morning to you.
The way you are in love with Dako Vibes, you should get him to come and perform on the
I think so,
one
yeah.
of these days.
And then, is it RJZ?
Yeah.
He was also a member of, or he's still a member of Lamin Gang as well. There are three of them.
I like this vibes.
Yeah, they're good.
Give me a location, like you be on the moon and you give me a location. Joe. Charlie, that's some vibes right there.
Charlie.
Good morning, y'all. Just joining us. This is the AM show. How you all doing? It's the morning after the holiday. I told you yesterday, you go to work today. No excuses. Wake up and go to work. Gifty is joining us. Let's say good morning to Gifty Ando up here. Miss Gifty?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Yeah, good morning.
Is my network better today?
Yeah, I don't know where you slept. I'm not sure you slept home.
I did. Don't worry. I'll soon not be sleeping home, and I'll let you know.
Well, that's a good one. Which papers are you doing, Gifty?
Okay, I've got a number of papers. I don't know how I forgot I was going to do newspapers. Okay, so I have the discussion. I have the
Gifty, are you confused? What are you saying?
So.
I don't know how that happened. But anyway, let me just go on with the Dispatch newspaper. Okay, hang on for me. Could you guys just start in the studio?
Yeah. Let's
do that.
We'll start with the Daily Graphic.
We've got the Statesman, the Observer.
No, we just start with the Daily
Times, there's the Daily Guide. Yeah. There's the Finder as well. I'm going to just start off with the paper that I have, the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page, sacrifice for national development. Speaker tasks nation. And the Speaker of Parliament, Professor Aaron Michael Quay, has called on Ghanaians to draw useful lessons from the sacrifices made by the founding fathers of the country and work together for national development. He said the attainment of Ghana's independence on March 6, 1957 was made possible because of the collective resolve and relentless effort of many frontliners who laid down their lives to liberate the masses. I wonder how many of us actually reflected on this yesterday. We're just enjoying the fact that it was a holiday yesterday. Don't misconstrue border closure, MPP tells NDC, but NDC insists on military withdrawal. So this is what makes you realize, really, apart from the ongoing registration exercise, that the election is just around the corner. Yesterday, the NPP organized a press conference. Later in the day, the NDC also did so. It's just been continuing from what we saw on Monday. So the battle pretty much is still on. The various parties holding their various positions. But this is one that interests all of us. Prime suspect in Kafaba lynching arrested. That headline is on the front page of the paper, but details you find on page 16 in the graphic. The prime suspect in the lynching of the 90-year-old woman, Madam Ikea Mariama Dente at Kafaba in the East Gonja municipality in the Savannah region, has been arrested by the Yeji police in the Bono East region. The suspect, who has been identified as Serena Mohammed, age 40, was arrested in Yeji last Monday night and sent to the Salaga Divisional Police Headquarters and later transferred to the Regional Police Headquarters at Damongo to assist in investigations. The Savannah Regional Police Commander, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Inoke Duchung Bediako, who confirmed this to the Daily Graphic yesterday, said during the interrogation, Serena admitted that she was the one seen in the viral video performing the rites of exorcism on the lynched Madame Dente after pronouncing her a witch. He said the suspect had been charged provisionally with murder and will be put before the Bole District Court today. There's a lot of background about the suspect and then, of course, where we have come from with this very tragic incident. But thank God the lead person, there was somebody advocating that all the persons who were also standing by watching this happen should also be arrested. In the center spread, explore innovative means to market products. JIPA advises arts industry, VRA sensitizes communities to Pualugu Dam project, and then Get Fund open zona office in Kumasi. On the back page, President cuts salt for Koforidua drainage projects. And then the Ministry of Health has received personal protective equipment and medical supplies worth a lot of money from Vamed Engineering in the support of COVID-19. That's it for the Daily Graphic. Roland?
Okay, Gifty, you ready? Right. So we'll hold the fort while Gifty gets ready. So let me look at the Daily Guide. The Daily Guide has on the front page, which killer flashed out of Yeji hideout? We brought that to you immediately. This was reported. Isaac Nonya is always on the beat, and subsequently on other bulletins right here on JoyNews will bring you what's the latest this morning as well. And also on the front page, I groomed babies with sharp teeth, and you just have to be watching MyJoyOnline.com. Particularly Joseph Akablay seemed to be serializing each of the pages that he's been reading from that working with Rawlings' book, autobiography that Professor Kwame Nahoy have written. And we already have had a number of concerns raised. His former colleague in the Rawlings administration, Dan Abodapi, issued a strong-worded statement refuting some sections of his book. But look, I just got a copy yesterday. I'll start reading it.
Oh, you got a copy?
Yeah, immediately I saw Joseph serializing it. I said I needed it's got to be good, because when Manasseh brought that first one, that biography that he wrote about the former president and his administration, John Dramani Mahama, I got a copy as well. It was late. Quite interesting book. But we do have MPP punches Mahama over bigotry. There's also a story about free light and water not for vote, according to the president. He's been going around so far. Nana Otum for secure voters ID card. That's a good one. They're very symbolic. On the back page, it's all sports. Just quite surprised that we don't have a story on the GFA cars and then Palmer case there.
We are expecting a verdict, and then there wasn't a verdict, and they didn't even explain anything to us after they themselves issued a statement saying that the verdict was supposed to happen yesterday. But then again, Kwesi Nyantakyi's issue is still in that court, isn't it? There hasn't been any decision, so.
We do. Gift, are you ready? Okay, so the Daily Statement has on the front page, NDC faces implosion as a hoist plot Rawlings downfall for Mahama. And then we do have Akufo-Addo makes strong case for made in Ghana products. MPP cautions Ghanaians about Mahama's hate for votes campaign, and Ghanaians can attest to my good work, the president says. The president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the back page full of sports, of course. Okay.
All right, let's do the Finder newspaper, front page of the Finder. NPP accuses Mahama of hate for votes campaign in Volta region. Locally assembled VW cars shape Nana Addo's Ghana automobile hub agenda. Potential free trade pitfalls could fuel massive exploitation of Africa. March and April missed revenue targets before ICUMS was deployed in June, according to the GRA. This is something that's been brewing, actually. It's just flowing from, I think, something I read from Monday. This is the Ghana Revenue Authority stating that the deployment of the integrated customs management system is not responsible for the variance in revenue realized in Tema collection in June 2020. According to the authority, March and April 2020 recorded similar variance at Tema collection when the system had not even been deployed. This one is in a statement signed by Mrs. Florence Asante, Assistant Commissioner, Communication and Head of Public Affairs of the GRA, blamed the situation on stretched targets. So there's a lot of background to the story in the paper. And then, of course, the Ghana Statistical Service making a survey that they conducted known. So, for instance, 42,000 layoffs, 770,000 suffer wage reductions. Roland Walker has a sit-down conversation with the government statistician. That's on AM Talk right after sport. You want to stay. President Kat sought for 15.8 million Ghana cedis in Soko Basin drainage projects. That's all by way of what's on the front page, the Finder. Let's do the Ghanaian Times front page, celebration of Founders Day. Speaker eulogizes country's 4 births. Kafaba lynching case, fetish priest grabbed. President cuts sword for Insoko Basin drainage project. Residents demonstrate against malfunctioning of Awoshi Highway traffic lights. We're back there in the community this morning, but this is traffic lights that's not been working for 3 years, they say, and they're also talking about the street lights. We'll talk about the issue of street lights. Maybe I should also gather a few people so we can...
Do you have street lights in the Eastern region? Your area?
Do we have street lights in the Eastern region?
No,
what
sorry,
kind of
sorry.
question is that?
No, in your area, where you live in the Eastern region.
So drive from the...
Sorry, this is wrong. I've retracted the question. Whoever is watching, please.
I'm talking about the I'm talking about the Nsawam Road, as in from here, from Kokomlimli.
Oh, that's
drive to Nsawam.
The street light.
Through no, you see the street light, but not functioning. No single lights. And this has been happening for a long time, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gifty's back with us, Gifty?
Gifty?
Yes, I'm back. I'm just a bit sad.
Why? Who died?
No one has died. I don't like all these, internet issues. It makes me feel very ineffective, and ineffectiveness makes me sad.
Gifty, get a good broadband. I think your service provider needs. You need to upgrade your service provider.
Excuse me. Anyway, so do I go on with the dispatch?
Please go ahead. We haven't done the dispatch yet.
All right. So the banner headline for the Dispatch newspaper: focus on 2020 voters register and ethnicity. See more on the back page, they say. And as 4% of Ghanaians vote, okay, so this is the story actually. As 4% of Ghanaians vote on ethnic basis, they put the focus on 2020 voters register and ethnicity. It should be an interesting read. And then there's a story there. It gives you the breakdown of Greater Accra region and the Eastern region and how it all goes. Then Kwamina Ahoy on 31st December revolution. That story is on page 4 and 8. And President Akufo-Addo cares for every Ghanaian. One of my favorite women is saying that, Chief of Staff, Madam Opare, Firma Opare saying that. Then we have the Defense Minister, Dominic Nitiwo, saying, back your voter suppression accusation with evidence. Mr. Nitiwo is telling former President John Mahama. And then inside this paper, you have a story from by GPCC, that's a Ghana Pentecostal Council, that's saying, we stand by Bishop Ajenosare. That story can be found on page 11. I'll take you on a quick journey through that newspaper, and that story is there. So the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, there's a long write-up there about how they back Bishop Ajenosare. I don't know, well, looks like we don't have a lot of time. I was going to read the first paragraph, but let me just quickly move on to the next one. On the back page of the Dispatch newspaper, you have that story, which is on the front page. Then President Akufo-Addo cares. Okay, so essentially a repetition of the stories on the front page. I'm going to go through. Mama V, I think you did the Finder, right?
Yes, I did. I did the Finder in the Times.
Finder already. Let me see. I had the BNFT.
Okay, go ahead with it.
Okay. Well, as you know, right. Okay, I got it. The banner headline for the BNFT: cares can adversely affect their stock if not properly managed. And cares is the government intervention, for the COVID intervention to boost the economy. Essentially, Deloitte is cautioning us that it can adversely affect our debt stock if not properly managed. That's always on page 3 of the BNFT. And businesses cut wages for over 770,000 workers, laid off 42,000 people. That's not easy to deal with. Then government considers move to reopen air borders. A lot of people are looking forward to this. And CBG supports 7 SOEs, as state-owned enterprises, with a 312 million fund to prevent layoffs. That's great. Answer for the front page of the BNFT. If I go on to the inside of the paper, GEPA moves to increase NTEs with new bauxite bead factory, and government considers move to reopen air borders. You have that story there on this particular page, that's at page 2. And businesses cut wages. Yeah, essentially a repetition of the stories that I told you about in the front page. This must be the back page of the BNFT. Prudential Life funds 3 institutions in COVID-19 relief initiative, and Stanchart posts impressive 2019 results honored for excellence. MTN Foundation shortlists 184 students for MTN Bright Scholarship 2020. I think this is it, and you have the other stories, the details of the stories that we found on the front pages there, in the inside pages. Mama B and Roland.
Okay, great. Right. Roland, is there another paper that you haven't looked at? Otherwise, we will do the review.
Let's look at our issues. No, let's do our issues. So at least we have some 3 minutes.
So let's look at myjoyonline.com, and then we can make picks real quick.
Okay, well, whilst we wait for myjoyonline.com, before we run out of time, which it looks like we will, I want to wish a happy birthday to Auntie Emma of Cape Coast. She doesn't miss the pulse. She leaves everything. With JBB, now I should pulse. So I want to say a very good morning to him, to her. It's from his son, MC Nana Kane Takwa, and from all her children. Can we do My Joy Online now?
We can, but you have to start paying us. We'll give you the invoice for using
let's
show. This is myjoyonline.com. So High Priestess involved in murder of 90-year-old Ekia Dente to appear in court on August 5, which is today. We'll bring you the updates from the court when it happens. Roland?
All right, we have other stories there. Speak against ethnocentrism, lawlessness at registration centers. Sami Jemfi to Ghanaians. And then we have other stories as well. Awoshi residents blocking roads, demonstrating over their faulty traffic lights, which they say sometimes result in fatalities. NDC's quest to sacrifice Ghana's patriotism for political gains. Questionable, according to Makafui Wanya. And then we have Central Tongue NDC Communication Bureau apologizes for altercation at Della Radio. We have other stories as well. Chunebo Akodia Senior High School student admits getting question papers before examination.
So that's my pick, really. If you click on the story on myjoyonline.com, because it's pretty fascinating that a group of students would protest because they felt their headmaster and the invigilators were too strict on them during the examination. That really shouldn't matter if you're writing an exam, but apparently that was an issue. But it turns out, if you read the story, this latest twist, that one of the final year students has disclosed that they actually saw the paper, the integrated science paper, before they wrote the exam. So they solved it, and it took them about an hour to finish a 2.5-hour paper. And that's because whilst they were demonstrating, other schools were writing the exams. So they got the papers from those schools. Very interesting. You can read that story on myjoyonline.com.
Anyway, I'm sure we still don't have a lot of time, but that's gross indiscipline, which we should not encourage. And of course, there has been this existing power relations between teachers, head teachers, and students. I mean, even to say that you want to, go to the washroom is difficult. If you went to the Ghanaian education system, you understand what I mean. Mm-hmm. But this increasing sense of indiscipline among students when they feel like we can, just go on a rampage and destroy property, it is so wrong, and we should just condemn it in all uncertain terms. And I think they should be made to pay for the destruction that they've created on the campus.
Well, the school authorities, because yesterday Nana Ajima engaged, and they said they really didn't destroy much. It was just something that a carpenter could fix.
Oh, wow. But I mean, there has to be some sort of punishment. Maybe they should sign a bond to be, to be disciplined and to show respect. But I think that it's just getting out of hand. Of course, like I said, the power relations between teachers and students have not been good. So when it breaks out like this and you get the chance to revolt, then everybody then jumps on it, and then they begin to get very indisciplined. But it's not good.
What's your own pick, Gifty?
I wanted also to add some commentary to this.
On this issue, Roland.
There are other videos of students of other schools who are writing this, who, whether they were protesting, were even maligning the president and calling him names, and even calling the administration names, because they claimed that they had been sold booklets which were past or which contained past question papers or past questions.
And somebody promised them that that would be what they would see.
Yeah, and they claimed that they had solved from page 1 to the last page, and none of it appeared on the paper that they wrote the first day, which was a written paper. And I thought that, I don't know, I think that as a society we seem to have failed these students. And I'm not talking about one school. I've seen several videos.
I think they're still young.
Schools.
They're learning. PASCO doesn't mean that's the paper you're going to write.
But see, Mama, how are they learning? And what exactly are they learning?
It means that
they're learning that I should have a PO. And if I have solved the APO, you must allow me to implement what. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And it is very worrying that our young people are thinking like this. Look, we have a national crisis that we've not been able to solve. We have a problem of having problems of solving problems on paper and never being able to implement it. So for young people to be thinking like this, it is worrying for our future, honestly.
Absolutely. I agree with you guys.
And I'm a bit surprised that it looks like psychologically their mindset or the way they prepared for this examination was only towards a certain confined means of past questions that they had access to. That also limits your ability to be able to broaden the learning scope.
Okay.
Please continue.
Yeah, so you see, the thing about these people being called, I mean, this particular batch of students being called a Kufaro graduate, and the focus, a little bit of politicization of the entire, this batch, especially because of free SHS. Could it be that this is working on their minds and making them feel a certain level of entitlement? Because I hear some of them even said they will not vote for the NPP if they were not allowed to do what they wanted to do. I'm not really sure if that was in Nana's report, but I heard some of them say that is absolutely bizarre.
Gifty, we'll come back with this particular conversation after in business this morning. So if you can still give us some time, we'll connect with you and talk about this matter and show the videos that Roland's been referring to. But for now, that's it for the review. Kindly go on MyJoyOnline.com where we have plenty of news. Coming up next is sports. They would explain why there was no verdict yesterday from the arbitration for sports. And whilst we're all waiting for a certain decision with Osei Palmer in the middle of it. Details coming up in sports.